Here's what happens when someone with a big ego attacks you. They expect a reaction. They need it. Their entire strategy depends on you responding, defending, explaining, getting emotional. And when you give them that reaction, you just fed their ego, made it stronger, validated that they got to you. But here's the thing. When you say nothing, their ego has nowhere to go. No fuel, no reaction to feed on. And without that fuel, it collapses. Not slowly, dramatically. Right in front of you. Most people don't understand how egos work. They think someone with a big ego is confident. They're not. They're insecure. The ego is just armor, a performance. And performances need an audience. Remove the audience, the performance falls apart. That's what your silence does. When someone attacks you and you don't respond, they're performing to an empty room. And nothing destroys an ego faster than being ignored. Think about the people with the biggest egos you know. What do they all have in common? They need attention, constant validation, someone to react to their provocations. Take that away, they crumble. Not because you destroyed them, because they destroyed themselves trying to get a reaction you never gave. Marcus Aurelius dealt with this constantly. People challenging him, testing him, trying to provoke him into reacting. And most of the time, he said nothing. Not because he didn't have responses, because he understood something fundamental. Response is engagement. And engagement with ego is always a losing game. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Translation: don't match their energy. Don't engage with their ego. Don't give them the reaction they're desperate for. Just refuse. And watch what happens. They escalate, get louder, more aggressive, more desperate, because their ego is starving. And every escalation just proves how badly they need your reaction. Stay until the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how to collapse someone's ego without saying a word. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. I used to try to win arguments with people who had big egos. I'd craft perfect responses, logical arguments, evidence, proof they were wrong. And you know what happened? They just get louder, more aggressive, more irrational, because I was feeding their ego, giving it the attention it craved. Then I learned something. There was someone who constantly tried to provoke me, in group settings, online, anywhere they had an audience. They'd make comments designed to get a reaction, challenge my statements, twist my words. All ego, all performance, all desperate for attention. And old me would have taken the bait, defended myself, proven them wrong. But this time, I did something different. Nothing. They made a comment trying to provoke me. I didn't respond, didn't acknowledge, didn't even look in their direction. Just continued like they hadn't spoken. And you know what happened? They tried again. Louder this time. More direct. Still nothing. Third attempt? They were already frustrated, starting to look desperate. And people were noticing, not what they were saying, that they kept trying and getting nothing. By the fourth attempt, someone else called them out. Why do you keep trying to start something? And just like that, their ego collapsed because everyone saw it. They needed attention. They needed validation. They needed to feel important, and they weren't getting it. The whole performance fell apart. They got quiet, embarrassed, and from that day forward, they never tried that again. Not because I destroyed them, because I refused to participate. And without my participation, their ego had nothing to work with. I started applying this everywhere. Meetings where someone tries to undermine me. Silence. Online when someone tries to start drama. Silence. Social situations when someone makes comments designed to provoke. Silence. And every single time, same pattern. They escalate. Then they expose themselves. If you've ever seen someone destroy themselves just trying to get a reaction, subscribe. Here's how silence actually destroys ego. First mechanism, ego needs validation. When you react, you give it. When you stay silent, you take it away. Second mechanism, ego feeds on conflict. No conflict, no power. Third mechanism, silence exposes the performance. Without your reaction, they reveal themselves. Fourth mechanism, your silence is a mirror. They hear themselves. And most people with big egos can't handle that. Fifth mechanism, ego collapses without resistance. You fight it, it grows. You ignore it, it dies. Sixth mechanism, time reveals the pattern. They keep trying. Different tactics, different attacks. And every failed attempt makes them look worse. Seventh mechanism, your absence is the answer. Not reacting says everything. You're not worth my time. You're not worth my energy. You're not worth my attention. And to an ego, that's devastating. Final truth. You can't defeat an ego by fighting it. Fighting feeds it, validates it, gives it power. But silence. Silence starves it. And anything starved long enough collapses. So the next time someone's ego comes at you, don't fight, don't explain, don't react, just watch. Watch them escalate. Watch them get desperate. Watch them reveal who they really are. Watch their ego collapse, all while you did nothing, because nothing is the most powerful response you have. And here's the part most people never realize. The moment you stop reacting, you shift the power completely, because now they're chasing you, not physically, psychologically. They need closure. They need acknowledgement. They need something from you, and you give them nothing. That silence starts to echo in their mind. Why didn't he respond? Did it not affect him? Did I just embarrass myself? And the more they think about it, the worse it gets. Because ego can survive attack, but it cannot survive irrelevance. When you ignore someone completely, you remove them from your world. And for someone driven by ego, that's unbearable. So they try again. Different angle, different tone, hoping this time you'll react. But if you don't, they eventually stop. Not because they understand you, because they failed to control you. And once someone realizes they can't control your reactions, they lose interest. That's real power. Not dominating the situation, not winning the argument, but becoming untouchable to it.